Hi everyone, I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a pretty good one. I actually released the very first prototype for my new game called Fortune. I released it on Saturday, the prototype, and I'm gathering feedback. I'm not actually gonna be working on it this week because, well, actually this week I'm not almost not going to be working at all because I'm moving. Well, I'm going to Bordeaux, which is a city in France, which is 7 hours away from where I am currently, and I'm going to be looking for a house there. So I'm taking the week off to only have that to do because that's I expect it to be kind of a lot. Um, and in the meantime, it's good because it lets me gather feedback for the prototype which I released. Um, let's take a look at it. Maybe you haven't played it. Maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. This is the game, Fortune, and there it is. So you have this isometric grid, and there are like sort of pillars, and you can do this. Yeah. Um, so this is actually like one of the main mechanics of the game that I have in mind. Um, I guess this is a more active mechanic, and there's also a more passive mechanic which isn't implemented at all yet. But yeah, this is the like a good chunk of the game already, kind of. Um, it works fine. It works pretty well actually. Um, to me anyway. Now, my concerns with it is that it might be a little bit too obscure, but my feeling for now is that people seem to kind of understand what they're doing and what's happening, even though they might not see the intention behind it yet. Essentially you have these bright pillars and these darker pillars, and when you click on them, there's the zone effect where it averages out the tiles there. And if you manage to have everything at the same level, then you have equality that goes up, and that's what you want. So yeah, that's what it is for now. There's still a lot of work to do on this game, but that will be for next week. I still wanted to show you something else because so there is another feature which I have in mind for this game. It isn't currently implemented in the game, but I have actually prototyped that in Pico 8. And it's the idea of having nations. So you have different colors on the board, right? And like you have this part there, it could be red, and then here it could be sort of pink and blue and all that stuff. And it's not gonna be limited to this board either. You're gonna be able to scroll in the 4 directions to like view all of the terrain. And anyway, I needed an algorithm to separate these nations, and of course I wanted to do it procedurally. So I made a very, very tiny program. In fact, so tiny that it fits in a tweet. And where is it? Yeah, that's the character count. And yeah, it works. It's a little program, as I was saying, that like generates tiny nation on a sort of archipelago kind of terrain, I guess. Now the game is actually going to have something like water, like pools of water in it, but it's not going to be an island or anything. Well, obviously it's not implemented yet, so I can't really say things that I'm sure will actually end up in the game. Maybe I'm very wrong in what I'm saying here, but what I have in mind is that there will be bodies of water in those grids where there won't be any cells, and it will have effects on the cells surrounding those bodies of water. Anyway, it was essential that had this algorithm of nation, and it's actually quite simple. It's very, it's simple and efficient, right? That's kind of the idea. So because here it's actually taking quite a while to generate, right? But you have to keep in mind that this is a 128 by 128 grid. Like it's the screen, right? The screen is the grid, but here it's only 16 per 16, and even when it's gonna come out of the borders, like maybe we'll get to 48 per 48, but probably not much more than that, right? So it's definitely gonna be a lot smaller than this, and so it should be a lot quicker to generate. Yeah. I'm going to show you very quickly. I need to remember the name of it. But yeah, I'm going to explain to you very quickly how this guy works. So this is the non-tweet version. So first off, there's the screen is cleared here, and we draw a big circle, a big blue circle. And then we render a few small random circles here and there, right? So not necessarily that small. The radius is random as well. And then for a while we do this tiny thing where we take a random pixel, right? And we do this like 9,000, basically 1,000 times, right? 10,000 times actually. You take one random pixel on the screen and you check all of its neighbors, and if one of these if the pixel you've gotten was blue, so we are inside that circle, right? And the pixel is blue, and then if one of its neighbors is black, then that first pixel, which was blue, becomes black. And we repeat that over and over and over again, which it does this effect where it creeps into the big circle, and the black zones get larger, right? So we do that, right? This looks like this, and then we draw 8 random circles of different colors, and those are the seeds of the nations essentially. And then we have like almost the same algorithm as up there with the black circles expanding, except this time it's with the nation. So we're going to take random pixels on the screen, and if they're the dark blue there, we're going to check neighbors, and if one of those neighbors happen to be a nation color, well, our original pixel takes that color. And so we have the nation expanding out exactly like the black zones did. And that's it. Essentially, it expands out until there are no more pixels available. And you have it, it works. Now, you might notice here that sometimes the nation seeds might pop up inside black zones, and so they can't expand out. But that's really easy to fix. You just have to check on the seed center, that pixel, is it in a black zone or not? If not, then place the seed elsewhere, and that's that. So it's very good. It's a really good basis, because I'm not just gonna copy paste that code inside the program. I'm gonna rewrite it, and I'm gonna make sure that it works properly and safely. So this is just this is really a prototype, like a feature prototype, if you like. And I think Pico is great to make that sort of stuff. But anyway, I'm sorry if that was a little bit rambly. Point is, I'm really happy with how it's looking. I'm really happy with the results, and I'm also quite happy with my prototype there. It's working as intended, right? So now I just have to see if people actually find it good, right? Um, if you want to tell me your opinion on this tiny prototype, I'm gonna put the link to this prototype inside the description of this video. You can play it on Castle. What else is there to say? Thank you for watching. If you support me on Patreon, thank you very much for your support. And yeah, have a nice week. And I might do a Patreon only video this week, or maybe not, since I'm not going to be working. I don't know what I will have to really talk about, but maybe I'll find a subject anyway. Maybe something will happen and I will want to talk about it. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a nice week and see you.